Welcome to episode 5 of OnTapTO. On today's episode, we head down south to visit Ellicottville Brewery and Southern Tier Brewery in New York. We special ordered a 24-pack of Bell's HopSlam all the way to a distributor in Warren, Pennsylvania. Remember to get a hold of me at reese@ontapto.com, facebook.com/ontapto, Twitter at ontapto, youtube.com/ontapto, or ontapto.com. One of my favorite beers at Ellicottville Brewery was the Nitrous Hopside, and it's an IPA that uses nitrogen instead of CO2, which gives a lot more smooth mouthfeel than the carbonation does. If you've ever drank a Guinness, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Guinness uses nitrogen instead of CO2. But that was applied to the IPA, and it was really awesome. One of my favorite beers at Southern Tier Brewery was the 2x IPA, which is available at the LCBO, and you can go check it out anytime. So I'll just tell you a little bit about this HopSlam ale from Bell's. This was one of the first beers that I ever drank that had the hop explosion going on, just a total hop bomb. If you ever had HopSlam, you know exactly what I mean. It's an Imperial IPA. It's brewed with honey and lots of Simcoes, so it's really dank. It goes without saying that this beer is very hoppy, and the first thing I notice when I drink HopSlam is the citrus flavor, and especially grapefruit. And then there's a lot of passion fruit and mango. I know this was the beer that converted my brother into a craft beer lover, and it is definitely a beer that everybody needs to try. Now for my favorite part. As soon as I pop the cap off, I just smell a citrus bomb. So right away, I can just smell grapefruit, passion fruit, mango, and pretty much every tropical fruit under the sun. This is just an amazingly hoppy, fruity IPA, and I just love the smell. Another thing I really love about HopSlam is the golden honey color. Hands down one of my favorite beers of all time. It's just a hop bomb, and I am a self-proclaimed hop head. There is a really nice malt bed for those hops to lie on. You definitely taste the honey and the caramel from the malts. It's really difficult for me to say that it's a well-balanced beer because it's such a hop bomb, but it somehow is still drinkable. Since it's 10%, I know from experience it can be pretty dangerous. For a 10% beer, the alcohol is definitely pretty well masked from all the fruitiness and the malts, and it's pretty drinkable for a 10% beer, and just how hoppy this is. It's very rare that I give a beer 5 out of 5 or an A+, or whatever you want to call it, my perfect beer. But I mean, I drove all the way down to Pennsylvania with my family on the weekend to get a case of this stuff. We special ordered it. If you want some details of how you can get some HopSlam for yourself next year, if you're in Toronto, just link me up and I'll let you know how you can do that. So again, this is Bell's HopSlam. Seek it out. One of the best beers in the world. And here's to great beer.
Ron. Yeah, exactly.
Braden, what did you try at Ellicottville?
Nitrous Hopside.
What's that one like?
It's good.
Oh, is that the IPA that uses nitrous instead of CO2?
Yeah. I'm too hungover to enjoy it though.
What kind of beer is that?
An IPA.
How was it?
Delicious.
So we had lunch in Ellicottville along with a couple awesome beers. Then we headed over to Warren, Pennsylvania, where we picked up our 24 pack of HopSlam beer. And now we're at Southern Tier Brewery. Hey guys, we're here with Mike from Southern Tier Brewery. How's it going today, Mike?
Awesome.
Great. How long has Southern Tier been here?
Southern Tier started back in 2003. We moved into this facility 3 years ago. We're now, production-wise, we're going to be a little over 100,000 barrels this year. 3 years ago, when I started here, we were a 25,000 barrel a year brewery. And now this year, 3 years later, we'll quadruple production. So it'll be a little over around 110,000 barrels this year.
Nice. Where were you guys before?
There's an industrial park right across the street, and we had a small 10,000 square foot facility there where we started. We started off with two 40-barrel tanks. One was for hot water and the other was for a fermenter. And from that to right now we have 21 of these fermenting vessels right here. These 6,000 gallon, these are 200-barrel tanks. And then we have 4 660-barrel tanks on the site. We have some new beers coming out this year. 2X Steam is going to be a new beer on the 2X line. We already have 2X Stout, we have 2X IPA, which is our #1 selling beer, and we're starting a new beer called 2X Steam. It's going to be a California Common. It's a true American style beer, which is a lager brewed at an ale temperature.
You sell more of the 2X IPA than the regular IPA?
We sell a lot more 2X
Really?
IPA. We package somewhere around 100,000 bottles and around 800 kegs a week of 2X IPA.
Nice.
Well, like being in Toronto, you can see a lot more of the 2X IPA than the IPA.
Yeah. Toronto is a big market, but they only get, I think, Unearthly 2X, regular IPA, chocolate stout, and some of the seasonals.
Is HopSlam in, or we have to go to Top?
I've never seen it in Ontario.
Yeah, sure. Chocolate, creme brulee, maybe.
Creme brulee. Yep.
Yeah.
It's different packaging for Canada or for Ontario, so it's I know it's a little bit harder to get legislation to get through the red tape to get in all the products up into the Ontario area. But I'm grateful for all the support up in Toronto. It's a big market for us.
Love it, man.
Oh,
We
man,
get a lot of people even down here at the pub coming down for tours from the Toronto area. But I always have to print out an extra receipt for them before they go across back to the border. So proof that they bought the beer in the U.S. We also got a new beer called Compass that's going to be coming out this summer. It's going to be a new imperial ale brewed with rose hips. And we also have Live Pale Ale, which is actually going to be released next week. It's our first bottle conditioned beer. It's a bottle conditioned pale ale.
Why is it called that?
Live?
Yeah.
It's for live music.
Okay.
The bottle
like
packaging has got a bunch of live music tickets from the concerts that the owner's gone to, and,
nice.
And our graphics designer's gone to over the last 40 years, and he made like a nice label using those taking a picture of all those live music tickets. So and then the live yeast with being bottle conditioned.
Yeah.
So that's how we make it.
When you're trying new styles of beer, like do you have a smaller micro brewery that you sort of like?
Yeah,
batch,
we can. I can
Oh my
show you.
goodness. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Not a problem.
Oh wow.
So actually, you can see right here, this is our system. And this would be equivalent to 1 turn of from our brew house, our old brew house. That's right over here. You can see the
Like the
mash
smaller
tun.
fermenters?
This is a 30 barrel fermenting tank right here. We use it for like when we came out with 2X this last Christmas. We did like 3 or 4 test batches of that. Live, we've done about 4 or 5 test batches, just getting the recipe right before we release it. We also do a lot of beers that we sell off in the pub or in markets like Philadelphia or Buffalo that are just small batch. And you can see the mash tun, the kettle, and the whirlpool. This is the size of 1 turn. So then these are 7 turns from that.
Do you guys ever do one-offs that would be just for the brew public?
Yeah, we don't have any on tap right now, but we've done quite a few. Yeah, that are just
Like some of those test batches, do they end up getting released to the public if they're all right?
yeah, they'll send them some to like Buffalo or like the Live. Actually, Eurotrash that's on tap at the today. That's
a Tills, right?
seasonal. Yeah, that was originally a one-off called we called it Eurotrash. It was a prop beer for Farmer's Tan that came out in the summertime, and it was so popular that they decided to make that the spring season. So that's one of the big deals released to the public.
How many bottles in a day can you send down this guy here?
This we can do. I mean, you could run it about 20. I mean, you could run it for 24 hours, I guess, if you really wanted to. But we run a 10-hour shift, and we do about 70,000 bottles a day out of the packaging. And that's the 12-ounce bottles. The 22-ounce bottles obviously would be fewer than that. But we package 2 tanks a day. So that's around 12,000 gallons a day we package between bottles and kegs. So that would be equivalent to about 400 kegs or 60,000, 70,000 bottles.
So when I drink Southern Tier, it comes through here.
Every single drop is made and bottled right here.
That's awesome. I love Southern Tier so much, man. It's so good.
It's a joy being part of it because I mean I love the beer a lot. The family that owns it are great to all of us. There's about 40 employees, and it's fun to be a part of something that's bigger than you are and is loved by so many people. It's fun to be a part of it.
What's your favorite?
2X IPA right now is probably my favorite. I drink quite a bit of 2X. I really like some of the beers that we don't make anymore, but like Gemini, that was one of my favorite beers. Farmer's Tan, again, that was a summer Imperial Lager. I like that beer a lot. I'm more into the hops than I am anything else, so like the dark beers.
Me too, brother.
Yeah,
Me too, dude.
This will give you an idea of how small we did start at. This is actually our original keg filler, and it was, you can only fill 1 at a time. We still use this, but this is used just for European kegs. We send over to Europe, our kegs get put in plastic kegs. This we use for when we're filling firkins.
So you do
Oh, no way.
We do well, we distribute them out.
Okay.
We don't have a beer engine for the brew pub, but so like your bar in Toronto that might want a firkin, we do fill firkins here from the bright tanks.
Casks do make it to Toronto every once in a while?
I can't say that I've seen them, but I mean it's possible. But this is just the keg filler. It's a one at a time, and it took over a minute and a half. I think actually it was like 2 or 3 minutes to fill 1 keg between washing it, cleaning out, filling it up, and now we can fill that same thing. We can fill 400 kegs a day now, 500 kegs a day, where this used to be 60 to 100 feet. You can see over here all the bright tanks. Those are the flat bottom tanks down here. These are all for fermenting.
Right.
Flat bottom tanks. So the bright tanks are finished here. You can see the 3 pipes in the ceiling. stainless steel pipes. Those are what feed the bottling line, and also there's piping that goes over.
So they go from the primary fermenters to the flat bottom?
Yep. Bright beers.
Right?
Well, everything, the bottling line kegs, they all get fed from these bright tanks. These are 200 barrels, just like these. They look a lot smaller, but they're actually the same size. But yeah, primary fermentation's 4 days. That's going through fermentation. We're about 18 to 20 days in the tank. We go through filtration, and after it goes through the filter, it gets flowed right into the bright tanks.
Nice.
Actually, after day 3, we seal off the tank. It's still fermenting, but we use that CO2 in solution. It's not enough CO2 to obviously burst the tank, but it's enough to start carbonating some of that beer, and then we force carbon the rest of the way.
Oh.
So this is actually the 2X steam.
So this is that 2X steam, the California Common that Mike was talking about, that should be coming out in 1 week, the middle of March. And it is looking happy.
It's alive.
You guys do some barrel conditioning beers.
We've done a bourbon barrel aged back burner. Most of our aged beers are oak aged. They're done actually in the fermenter. You can see here the oak aged done originally. It's in this tank right now, and we put about 600 pounds or so of wood chips in sock filters that are on a string that are going from the top all the way bottom, so that the oak spreads evenly throughout.
You pick up that oak flavor.
You get a lot of oak flavor. The bourbon barrel aged beer, you get a lot of bourbon flavor in that one too. We did that for about 5 months in bourbon barrels. This will leave in the tank for about 30 days, so it gets a little bit extra time when it's doing an oak aged beer. But it gets a lot of that oak flavor. The back burner is another one that deals damage.
So this is Mike from Southern Tier Brewery, and again, you guys all know that if you go to the LCBO, you can find a lot of the Southern Tier beers, like the 2x IPA. If you've yet to try it, go to the LCBO, because it is absolutely awesome, and especially, probably 2 hours from Niagara Falls, so 3 hours from Toronto, you guys can come check out, a world-class brewery. Come down to Southern Tier Brewery and check it out for yourself.
And I'll be in the pub. Thanks.
Cheers.
Not a problem. Cheers.
So this is what our haul looks like coming back from the United States today. It's 1 growler of 2x IPA, 1 growler of Krampus, and 2 bombers of Back Burner, which is their barley wine. A couple tulips and glasses and t-shirts. We also went to Warren, Pennsylvania to get that beauty. 24-pack of HopSlam Ale from Bell's Brewery. Our prized possession for the day.
Duty free.